Welcome to today's session. Since we already delayed the session a little, let's get started, guys. So today we are here to discuss IBPS PO. Hi everyone, hi friends, hi. English language mock test, all India mock test that happened last week, and we are here to discuss. Alright, so first what we have is I will be giving you a passage. You just have to quickly go through the passage and then you will have to answer the questions based on the passage. Okay, so this is a pretty simple passage that we have in front of us. Please go through it. I'll give you 2 minutes of time. Alright, so quickly let's go through it. Let's skim through the passage. I will be reading it with you. Govind's father was a rich landlord who was loved and respected by all his tenants. When he died, he left large tracts of land to Govind. Large tracts of land, tracts are an area of land, okay, huge area of land, typically large ones, okay. But Govind did not spend a single day looking after his land. He has a funny idea. Okay, it should be he had a funny idea, not has a funny idea. He had a funny idea that there existed a magical potion which if it was poured on any object would turn it into gold. He spent all his time trying to learn about this potion. People took advantage of him and cheated him. His wife grew anxious. I hope all of you understand the meaning of anxious. Given the amount of money Govind was spending, she was sure that they would soon be paupers, as in poor people, okay, broke. One day, a widely respected sage who had been to the Himalayas came to their town. Govind asked him about the potion. To his surprise, the sage answered, "I have learnt how to brew such a potion, but it is difficult. But it is a difficult process." "Tell me," insisted Govind, hardly able to believe his luck. "You have to collect the dew which settles on the leaves of banana tree every morning during winter. There is a condition though. The tree should be planted and watered regularly with your own hands. Store the collected dew in an earthen vessel, and when you have 5 liters, bring it to me. I will recite a sacred mantra to transform the dew into the potion. A drop of the potion will be sufficient to change any object into gold." That's just the first part of it. So let's go to the next part. Okay, the next part. Govind was worried. Winter is only for a few months in the year. It will take me years to collect the dew. "You can plant as many trees as you want," replied the sage. Govind went home and, after talking to his wife, began clearing the large field which has been lying vacant for years. He planted rows of banana saplings. He tended them with great care. His wife helped him too. She would take the banana crops to market and get a good price. Over the years, the plantation grew, and finally, after 6 years, Govind had 5 liters of dew. He went to the sage, who smiled, uttered a mantra, and sprinkled a few drops of dew on a copper vessel. To Govind's dismay as in disappointment, nothing happened. "You have cheated me," he shouted at the sage. The sage, however, smiled. Govind's wife then came forward with a box. The sage opened it and revealed stacks of gold coins inside. Turning to Govind, he said, "You worked hard on your land and created a plantation. Your wife sold the produce in the market. It was your hard work which created this wealth, not magic. If I had told you this earlier, you would have not listened." Govind understood the wisdom behind the sage's word and worked even harder from that day on. So that is the passage. I hope all of you got it. There was nothing, no rocket science in the passage. Completely simple passage. You just had to skim through it quickly. Or if you have gone through the passage, if you can try working your way through the questions and then go into the passage, that would be great. Okay, so these are the easy passages where you should straight away go to the question and then try to, because you need not know the entire story for this. Okay, so let's go to the questions now. Okay, why did Govind decide to cultivate a banana crop? I'm sure all of you know why did he try to cultivate a banana crop. Okay, so the story, I'll just give a gist of it. So this guy who was the only heir of his father's land, he heired his father's land, and then he had this crazy idea that he wants to get a magic potion which turns everything into gold as soon as the potion is poured on that object. People cheated him, his wife grew anxious, and finally a sage asked him to plant as many bananas as he can, banana trees, and with the dew that he collects every morning, he can probably make it into a potion. After 6 months of doing so, his wife kept sending all these banana fruits and the leaves and everything, whatever possible, to the market and getting a good price over it. And in the time he understood, he collected all the dew and he went to the sage again, and the sage said that he saw nothing happen with the potion, so he was very angry about it. And finally, the moral of the story, he asked his wife to get the gold coins, and when he saw, he understood that hard work pays off, not just daydreaming. Okay, so that is the whole story. Okay, so now let's look at the question. Why did Govt decide to cultivate a banana crop? Why did he try to cultivate a banana crop? Let's look at the questions. The soil of his land was suitable only for cultivating bananas. No, that's not the answer. It was the most highly priced commodity in the region. Of course not. It could be grown at any time of the year, including winter. That also wasn't the reason. His wife pressurized him to do so. Also not the reason. The ingredient for the magic potion. Okay, magic potion itself says everything. 5 is the right answer. Yes. Next one. Why did Govt's wife help him in the field? Why did Govt's wife help in the field? Support her husband in his endeavor to find a magic potion? No, that's not the reason why she was helping him. Of course not. The sage had advised her to help her husband succeed, not something that was implied, not something that was even stated. He needed someone to help collect the dew. No. So none of these would be the answer, okay? Because none of... Sindhuja, you are saying for the second one it will be A. To support her husband in his endeavor to find a magic potion? Of course not. She knew that it is... she supported only because she knew that it would get them some fruits, okay? So the plantation would help them. Finally, she saw her husband working after a long time, so she just supported him with that, okay? So not about the dew and the magic potion. So none of these is the answer. Next one. Why was Govt's wife worried? Why was she worried? Govt had no knowledge of farming, and no, it was not about farming. Had not friends because he was obsessed finding. No, that's not why she was worried. Okay. Govt was only interested in studying, and no. Since Govt had devoted all his time and wealth to finding a magic potion, they would soon be poor. Yes, that's the reason why she was worried, right? So, which one is the answer? It's option 4. Okay. Which of the following can be said about the sage? He was cunning and plotted. Cunning is a negative term, so that cannot be given to the sage, okay, because he did good to them. He had no magic powers as such and used to swindle people. No, of course not. He never used to con or swindle people. He was a good judge of people. Yes, we can say that because he knew what is happening. He did not deserve his reputation. He was dishonest. All negative terms. On the other hand, we are seeing that what he did was aptly right for the situation. Okay, so he was a good judge of characters, because of which finally Govt could find his magic potion. Alright. So option 3 is the right answer. Next one. Why did Govt's father give him large tracts of land? Why did he give it to him? Not because he was worthy of it. It was his way of instilling a sense of responsibility? No, he died. Okay, so Govind was the only son and the sole heir. Yes, that is the right answer. To provide Govind with sufficient funds to pursue his interest of discovering magic potion? Of course not. He wanted Govind to continue to look after the tenants. None of these. No, it is option 2. That is the answer. Next question. Alright, so that's all from the passage. Very easy passage. You can actually solve the entire passage within 2 to 3 minutes of time. Okay, it shouldn't take longer than that. If you're slow at reading, then it will probably take you 5 minutes, but other than that, it is something that was very, very simple. I'm sure all of you got the right answer. Yes, Satish, Shankara Rao, all of you got the right answer. Now, moving on to the next segment that we have is error spotting. Let's get to that, okay? Let's get to that. Okay, so what do we have here? Read the sentence, read each sentence to find out whether there is any grammatical error or idiomatic error in it. So basically error spotting, we have to find out where is the error. Okay. Now the question is, his proposal had to be sent to the president of the company for her approval. Now this one is a very simple one. I'm sure all of you will be able to spot the error. I think I stressed on the error as well. His proposal had, okay, so we see had, it is past perfect form. To be with past perfect form, with V3 form, which form of verb do we use? We use had plus V3 form plus object, okay. So that is how we use past tense, past perfect. And here we have send. It should be sent and not sent. So the error is in option B. 2 is the error. Okay. Guys, just don't give the answers. This is not reading comprehension. So just don't give the answers. Make sure that you also tell me where is the error and what sort of error is it. Okay. I do not see Sony. Sony, are you here? And I do not see... each Tuesday evening, we visited the farmers in the area and held a meeting to discuss the problems they faced. Okay, where is the error over here? Alright, as I see Sony, you're not well. I hope you get better soon. Recuperate from your illness soon. Alright, rest of you, come on. Tell me where is the error in this one. Where is the error and what sort of error is it? Again, Satish, Chandra, okay, Neeraj and Praveen. Okay, Praveen is saying the area. Okay, Praveen is saying the area is the error. Satish and Neeraj, please tell me what sort of error are you talking about? What error is here? So, I assume what you guys are saying is that there is an error in the statement while there isn't an error, okay? Each Tuesday evening we visited the farmers in the area. We are talking about a specific area. So in that area we are talking about. So there is no error over here. And held a meeting to discuss the problems they faced. Okay, so there is no error in this statement. However, some of you are having doubt whether it should be each Tuesday or every Tuesday. So let me give you an example of how to use each. Where do you use each and when do you use every? Okay, so that doubt is clarified. Okay. Alright, so each is used. It is a way of seeing the members of a group as individuals, while every is a way of seeing a group as a series of members. All right, so when do we use each and when do we use every? We use each when we have to. It is a way of seeing the members of a group as individual. Okay, so when I'm talking about lot of people and I'm talking about, let's say there are a lot of people, so if I have to say each of the boys, that means I mean each of the boys in particular. Okay, this is how you are seeing members individually, okay, in a group. However, when we talk about every, is talking about a seeing. Now let's refer to this, or let's refer to this. Okay, so this is how you see every. All right, so that is where you use each and every. Now in this case we are talking about days of the week. When do we use every and when do we use each? Okay, so every is used, it is used to express different points in a series, especially with time. Okay, when it comes to time, we often use every. It works the same way, but it is not so common in each. Okay, so I'll give you an example. Okay, now look at what I just explained. Each, we see, it is a way of seeing the members of a group as an individual. Okay, and every is a way of seeing a group as a series of members. Okay, now every is used to express different points. Okay, different points in a series. Okay, so, and this is especially true with time. So we often use, I'll give you an example statement. Look at this. Every morning I brush my teeth. Okay, so every we are using. Another one that we can use is, now I'm just erasing this off. This is one. Another example could be this online class happens every week. All right, again we have every. Now then, I brush my hair every day. Now again, every day. All right, however, each Friday I take a doubt clarification session. All right, here we are using each, and it is not wrong to use each over here. All right, so most of the cases we see that when we talk about day, when we talk about week, when we talk about morning, evening, it is very common to use every. However, when we use each Friday or each Saturday or each, when we are stating the name of the week, it is not wrong. It is something that is not very frequent, but it is not wrong. Okay, so I hope this clarifies your doubt on what when do we use each and when do we use every. Club of members, yes, each represents individual person. You're right, absolutely right, Sindhuja. Anil, please don't write everything in capital letters, because when you write everything in capital letter, it looks like you are shouting at the person. Okay, so it is bad manners to write everything in capital letters. All right, Anil. Okay, now that is clear, let's move on to the next question. Okay, though our training facilities are limited, only a few employees have been selected for training. Okay. Suraj, each one of you is not wrong, but it serves the same purpose. So why not say each of you? Okay. Again, these are used only with countable nouns. Each and every are only used with countable noun. Each is used with plural noun with each of. Okay, when we make it each of, then it is used with plural. Every is never used with plural. Okay, so when you're saying each one of you should do this, should do your job well, or should study or should work hard, it is absolutely fine, but it serves the same purpose is what I'm saying. Okay, each and everybody, both used. So when we can use them. All right. Both used. So when we say each and every one of us should understand our roles and responsibilities being the citizen of this country. That is also not wrong, okay? But each and every one, that means I'm talking about the individual members as well as the series of members, okay? So that is when we use each and every, okay? All right, coming back to the question, ma'am, every Saturday I take mock tests. Is this correct? Absolutely, Divya, that is correct. But we can also use each in this case as well, okay? And only in this case, okay? So it is very common with every, but it is not so common with each. That's the whole point of me giving you an example, okay? That every we often use with time. Each is not that common with time, okay? Ma'am, every Saturday I take mock test in this. Is this correct? That is correct. Anil, a few is correct, right? Okay, coming back to the questions, let's just discuss the question once again. Though our training facilities are limited, okay, so it starts with though. That means it has to be, when we use words like though, yet, when we start with all these words, although, when we however, that means the next part of the statement will be a contradictory statement, okay, when we use these terminologies, okay, or even but for that matter, okay, so they are words that are contradictory words, okay, so they are keywords which represents contradiction, okay. However, in this question, when we see, though our training facilities are limited, only a few employees have been selected for training. Now, since it is already limited, it is word usage related error, okay? So since it is already limited, they will be selecting only a few employees, okay? So the error is in part A. Instead of though, what should we replace it as? Okay. So the error is in 1, that is A. Okay. Now, Shubham, you're asking tense is correct, have been. Yeah, and that is absolutely fine. Yes, it is. The tense is correct. As our training facilities are limited, only a few employees have been selected for trainings, okay, so that is absolutely fine, have been selected. Okay, can we use the few? No, the difference lies between few and a few, okay, Satish. On one hand, few is close to negligible and a few is very less amount, okay, so a few is always greater than few. That's why we say a few, okay, not, there's nothing called as the few, okay. The few of us, when we are referring to a particular few, then we refer to as the few, okay. Here it does not apply. Alright, so the error, as I hope all of you understood what is the error in this question, though it should be replaced with as a training. Okay, can we move on to the next question? Shubham is asking, can we use since? Yes, yes, of course, Shubham, we can use since. That also makes sense. Since our training facilities are limited, only a few employees have been selected for the training. That is fine. Okay, so it can be replaced with anything. The point is that you have to identify where is the error, okay? And this one was a very nice one where you do not understand how to spot the error. All right, so make sure you know the words if they're used aptly or not. All right. Miss, I miss late. Very nice statement, Karamveer. Please try framing better sentences. All right. Moving on to the next question. During the interview, the panel asked me several technical questions and I answered all of it. Okay. Now, is there an error? Now, let me see how many of you have understood error spotting and how many of you can solve it. So, tell me if there is an error or not. Yes, so as most of you are saying, there is an error, and the error is, since we are talking about, let's look at the statement once again. Since we are talking about during the interview, the panel asked me several technical questions. Okay, so we are not just talking about one question, we are talking about several questions, and I answered all of, it should be them. All right, so the error is in option D. All right, fourth one has the error. Yes, good job, guys. Moving on to the next question. He decided to work for an NGO, but most of his classmates opted for high-paid jobs in multinational companies. Tell me, where is the error? Okay, D has the error, but what is the error in D? Most of you are saying D. Payal is saying D. So where is the error over there in D, Payal? Yes, but that is, I think that is C, right? The error is, let's look at the statement once again so that it is clear. Now, when we are talking about paid, he decided to work for an NGO, but most of his classmates opted for, okay, dash paid jobs, okay, dash paid jobs. So what is paid and what is jobs over here? Which part of speech are these two? Jobs is the noun. It is talking about the noun. What kind of job? Paid job. So it becomes the adjective. And when we are using, when we are talking more about the adjective, we use, it adds more meaning to the adjective, we use adverb. Okay, so it should be highly and not high. Yes, it should be highly paid. So C, it has the error. 3 is the right answer. Highly paid. Sandhya, in this case, paid is not a verb. Okay. Jobs is the noun. Yes. All right, moving on to the next question now. Okay, so the next question that we have is rearranging. Oh my God. Okay, so you have to find out, rearrange this quickly and tell me. Now we have had enough of practice, so rearrange this quickly and tell me what order should we follow over here. Payal, I understand that you answered for the previous question, but please do not use something like capital letters in the middle of the statement. It just does not go well, okay? Please do not shout at me, guys. What did I do wrong to you? I am nice. Okay, anyways, let's go back to the question now. With so many products and opportunities available in the market, it is very easy to get this planning. Okay, so it talks about this planning. So obviously this is not the first statement. Planning therefore, okay, therefore, that means again it is talking about a previous statement which has to be added on to it. Okay, what amount will we need and when will we need it? Okay, this is a very vague question, so again cannot be the starting statement, as most of us, okay, so again it cannot be the statement, starting statement. So D we have as the starting statement, and since okay, as most of us would put our children's education above any other priority in life, including our own retirement, planning therefore, okay, so here's the therefore. Planning therefore is imperative and should begin at as early as possible. Imperative, what is the meaning of imperative? Something that is a compulsion, okay, something that is necessary, okay. Is imperative and should begin as early as possible. Now what should be the next statement? We have already spoken about planning. We have introduced the word planning here. Now let's go to the next word. With so many products and opportunities available in the market, it is very easy to get this planning wrong. Okay, so this planning, we are referring to which planning? This planning. Okay, so A is the next statement. All right, now what should be the next statement? So we are getting it wrong. So if we are getting it wrong, so let's try to find the best solution since we are getting it wrong. So let's try to find by asking two important questions. By asking two important questions, and what are those questions? What amount will we need and when will we need? Number 1 and number 2. God, I scribbled a lot in this question. Okay. So that should be the right answer. So finally we'll have C as the right answer. Oh, sorry. C as the next one. Okay. Doubts. According to using caps implies you're angry and shouting on the other person. Yes, Sony is right. Why not C goes for third statement? So the series like D, E. I just connected everything for you guys. So how is the connection made? I just explained it to you. So let me do it once again, okay? Since we are talking about, as most of us, now I'm sure all of you agree that D is the introductory statement. If you agree to that, okay, so we are talking about retirement, okay, what happens, we put children's education as the priority and we should put it as priority. So what do we require if we put it for priority? Do we require, C is the next statement. What amount will we need and when will we need it? It is very vague, okay? It is talking about amount, which we haven't spoken about. So the second step comes planning, and then comes the question where we do it wrong. So why do we do it wrong? Because we do not have the questions. We do not ask the two important questions. And what are those questions? These are those questions. So it is a clear loop. Okay, if you can establish a chain, a link between the statements, then you will understand it totally makes sense this way and no other way, okay? because first we are talking about why is it important to introduce planning. We have given an introductory statement that this is why planning is important, and since there are so many products in the market, it is very easy to get confused. Okay, so that comes the next there comes the next statement. Are nightmares to me. Sankara Rao, I totally agree, they are now nightmare to me as well. It took me a lot of practice to solve questions and get them right. Okay, so you do need a lot of practice. I still hate parajumbles, but it's part of my job, so I have to do it. But once you get a hang of it, it is not that tough. Okay, you just have to know how to establish the link. Okay, and once you start looking for words and links, you'll get there. Okay, don't worry, it is not something that is that takes a huge amount of practice, unlike meditation, which takes a huge amount of practice. Okay, even for my I'm sure all of you know that. Okay, I think I have clarified this doubt, so let's just answer the questions related to it. Which of the following should be fourth statement arranged? Okay, so what did we have there? D, B, I think A, E and C, if I'm not wrong. Okay, so which one would be the fourth statement? Fourth statement is D. Oh, sorry, I'm so sorry. Fourth statement becomes E, that is option 3. Which of the following should be the third statement? Third is A. Which one should be the first? First is D. Which one should be the fifth? Fifth is C. And which one should be the second? Second should be B. Okay. Okay guys, if you're totally unsure of parajumbles and you think that you will go wrong, I do not want you to miss out on parajumbles, because they are easy to get marks. Okay, if you get a very easy parajumble passage, then you have answered so many questions, 5 questions related to the one topic, which requires you to solve only 2 minutes of concentration. Okay, so if it is very tough and you're not getting anywhere, then I would suggest you to leave it. Okay, otherwise please try and solve parajumbles, because you can get a lot of marks in parajumbles. Okay. Okay, Sandhya is saying that meditation is easier than this in my view. Of course, meditating is easy, but getting to the level of meditation where you can control your thoughts and you can become like the sages and monks, it is very tough to get there. Okay, and people have been practicing for years together and they haven't been able to. I don't know how many of you meditate, but it is a very good, I think it is something that is very warming and something that gives you a little clarity in life. I think everyone should meditate. Meditation is easy, but what I'm trying to say is to become an accomplished meditator is something that is difficult. Parajumbles, on the other hand, with practice, it becomes easier. Sometimes with meditation, you feel like you're getting nowhere. That also happens. So that's why I'm saying it is difficult. I usually only answer which is the first statement in the question. That is a good idea, Suraj. If you can answer which one is the first statement and you can skip the rest, then again, if you are not very confident with parajumbles. Otherwise, I would suggest you to solve all of it. Okay. All right. Moving on to the next question. Okay, so this is also error spotting. You have to find out which part has the error, and then okay. Haha, Satish, that was very funny. Not funny at all. Okay, guys, concentrate on the question. In the high-strung life of it should be strung, not high-strung. As in the life of, what do you mean by high-strung life? Finding it difficult, okay. Something that is Finding it difficult to relax. Okay. High-strung life, okay? Of overcrowded metros, they're a constantly tug of war over space and resources. Okay. So where is the error? Yes, constantly is the error. It should be constant tug of war. Okay. The idiom is constant tug of war. So the error is in option 3. Yes, it is a phrase, not an idiom per se. Okay, we use high-strung life, high-strung, anything that is very exhausting and not relaxing at all. Okay. All right, moving on to the next question. A red and sore tongue. Sore means something that is painful. Okay, something that pains. Okay. Painful, okay, red and sore tongue is an indicator from lack of iron, vitamin B12 in the body. Okay, so is an indicator of. We use the preposition not from, indicator. If we are talking about what it is inclining to, or what is it suggesting, or what is the message behind, we use indicator of. Okay, so pale body is an indicator of lack of vitamin D in the body. Okay, so that we use indicator of. So the error is in option. Okay, the foremost criterion of selection we adopted were the number of years of training a singer had received under a particular guru. Now, foremost is means something that is most important or something that comes first. Okay, criterion is plural form of criteria. Sorry, singular form of criteria of selection we adopted. Since we are only talking about a single criteria that we adopted, and here also we have mentioned only a single criteria, that is a singer had received under number of years of training a singer had received under a particular guru. Okay, so it talks about one criteria. All right, so then why are we using were? We should be using was. All right, not were, since we are talking about a single criterion. Yes, so that also, if you look at the rest of the statement, it clearly says only one criteria. Okay, even if you do not understand what is criterion and what is criteria, if you look the foremost criterion of selection we adopted. Okay, so of selecting someone we adopted foremost criterion, and that was number of years of training a singer had received under a particular guru. That is just one. Okay, so how are we using? Why is it not audible now? Now audible. Okay, so audible. Okay, so that's when we use that's why we will use was and not were. Okay, because were is the plural form of was. All right, in the past form. Moving on to the next question. Excess weight is the result of unhealthy eating habits, which are inherent risk factors responsible for many diseases. Okay, now where is the error over here? Guys, tell me the error. Where is the error? Excess weight is the result of unhealthy eating habits which are inherent. Unhealthy eating habits. Okay, excess weight is the result of unhealthy eating habits which are inherent risk factors responsible for many diseases. So there is no error. This statement is absolutely fine. So we will click on no error, that is, and responsible for no error. Many diseases. Many disease. No, many diseases. That is fine. Plural form of disease is diseases. We do not have a number, so we are using many. Alright, so the error is, there is no error in this statement. So we will be using, what will be the answer? No error. Yes. Moving on to the next question. The therapeutic benefits at helping others. Okay, the benefits of. Here itself is the error. We don't have to look at anything else. The therapeutic benefits of helping others have long been recognized by people. Okay, so where is the error? At helping others. At is the error. Alright. Second is the okay, Payal, you want me to tell you the meaning of inherent? Inherent means something that is, that you get it from your parents and from your forefathers, something that comes genetically. Okay, inherit something, as in something that is passed along with your genes. Okay, therapy, therapeutic, Sindhuja. Okay. Alright, so that is the answer for this one. Moving on to the next question. In some cases, factors like low salary, lack of growth prospects and lack of motivation compel all employees. So what are you supposed to do? Which of the phrases should replace the phrase given in bold? Okay, so we have to give a better word for this phrase that is given over here. So let's find out. Okay, so which of, compel all employee to look for a change. Okay, compel all employee, okay, to look for a change. Now, employee is singular, we are talking about all employees. Okay, so everything else is fine, the tense is fine, only singular plural is the problem. Alright, so lack of growth prospects and lack of motivation compel all employees should be the right answer. So where do we have that? Which statement? Compel employees. Okay, so we do not need to use all since we have already used the plural form employees. Alright, so most apt. Moving on to the next question. The easiest way for prevent, okay, now easiest way to prevent, we always use easy way to. Ways to, okay, so ways is always followed by the preposition to. Okay, so the easiest way to prevent stress caused by work or home pressure is to indulge in high level of physical activity. Okay, so where do we have the right answer? Easiest way to, that is option 3. Not easily way to, guys, look at the options properly. It should be 3. Easiest way to, yes. Moving on to the next question. Now we have a passage, and based on the passage you have to answer a few questions. So let's get this done quickly. All right, there are a few blanks that are given, 8 to be exact, and then you have to solve, find out what will be the appropriate word to fill in the blanks. All right, preposition error, yes. Moving on, let's look at the question. When we started started 30 years ago in 1977. Okay, when we started, okay, so it is already talking about started in 1977. We did not know anything about how to run a bank for the poor. Okay, so they are talking about when they freshly started, no. Firstly started, no. Foremost started, no. Initially started, or recently, again, not. Okay, so initially started. Alright, when we initially started 30 years ago in 1977, we did not know anything about how to run a bank for the poor. Now moving on to the next one. We therefore looked at how others ran their operations and dashed from their mistakes. Okay, so what did we do? Of course, you will learn from someone's mistake. Okay, so we therefore looked at others and how others ran their operations and learned from their mistakes. In Bangladesh, conventional bank and credit cooperation. Okay, moving on to the next section. In Bangladesh, conventional banks and credit cooperatives always dash lump sum payments. Okay, so banks are asking for lump sum payment. Okay, so banks asked for lump sum payments. Next one. They tended to delay okay, fourth question. In the end, no, are we in the fourth? Yes, this created dash problems because repaying in a lump sum was a mental hurdle for borrowers. Okay, you understand what is lump sum? That means everything paid together. Okay, so all compiled together. Okay, or total amount. Okay, lump sum was a mental hurdle for borrowers. Okay, so this created dash problems. This created severe problems, no problems, additionally problems, variety problems, plenty problems. This created severe problems. Okay, anything else does not go with the statement. Yes, severe problems. Now fifth one. They tended to delay repayments and get further into debt in the process. Okay, in the process they used to get delayed. Okay, this one was very easy. I don't think I need to explain this, do I? Moving on to the next one, next question. In the end, they usually dash totally on the loan. In the end, they usually dash totally on the loan, which was a loss for the bank. Okay, so they did not pay. Okay, so they neglected the loan, they abandoned the loan, defaulted the loan, depended the loan, disappointed the loan. Which one is the right answer? You tell me. For the sixth one. Not dependent. Okay, so usually banks have this list of people who are called the defaulters list. Okay, people who are unable to, who they cannot get in touch or they are unable to pay the loan back. So what happens, banks put them in the defaulters list. Okay, so because they are not able to pay the loan. All right, so that is why it says huge loss to the bank. Okay, so it will be defaulted. Alright, option 3 is the right answer. Okay, moving on to the next question. In structuring our own loans, I decided to ask for a daily payment. Monitoring repayments was dash and it filled people. Okay, it should be a small m. Okay, monitoring repayments was. Okay, what he decided to do, instead of asking for a lump sum amount, he started structuring his own loans and he decided to ask for daily payments. Okay, monitoring repayment. Now since it is daily payment, monitoring repayment becomes what? what does it become? Benefit, easier, reckless, disorganized, secure, easier. Okay? Because they do not have to wait for years together to find the person and get his track records and see how much of money. If the payment is coming on a daily basis, then it becomes easier for them to track the person, okay, or the person who has asked for the loan. Easier is the right answer. All right, moving on to the last one. It filled people with dash that they could repay their loans. So this is what it filled them with a sense of, okay. So it filled them with a not just sense of, okay, it filled people with now they can repay their loan. So it was a confidence that it filled them with, okay. So it should be, and it filled people with confidence that they could repay their loans. All right. Confidence, yes. So that brings us, I think this was pretty easy today. The questions that we discussed were not gnarly or something that was not something very tough questions. We will be back, however, next Friday, and till then please keep practicing your parajumbles for those who have a nightmare of parajumbles, and for the rest you too keep practicing. I think it was a cakewalk today. Hope that it becomes a cakewalk for all of you and we are able to all pass the exams with flying colors.